Hey, Los Blancos fans. Welcome back. Today, we've got some explosive content for you as Manchester City's manager Pep Guardiola has made some shocking comments about Carlo Ancelotti following Real Madrid's Champions League exit. Plus, we'll be covering the latest on Ancelotti's potential departure, Jurgen Klopp possibly taking over, and what this means for Sunday's crucial El Clasico Copa del Rey final. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already to stay updated with all things Real Madrid. Let's dive right in. In a shocking turn of events, Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola has launched a scathing attack on Carlo Ancelotti following Real Madrid's Champions League exit at the hands of Arsenal. During his press conference yesterday, Guardiola didn't hold back when asked about the Italian's recent performance at the Bernabeu. "I've always respected Carlo as a manager, but what we've seen from Real Madrid this season, especially in the Champions League, is simply unacceptable for a club of that stature," Guardiola stated. Their tactical approach against Arsenal was baffling. No pressure, no intensity, no clear game plan. This is Real Madrid we're talking about, not some mid-table club. Guardiola went on to critique Ancelotti's handling of key players, particularly questioning his decisions in midfield rotation. "When you have players of that caliber at your disposal, you have to utilize them correctly. His substitution timing has been poor all season, and against Arsenal it was as if he had surrendered before the game even began." The City boss also criticized Ancelotti's failure to adapt tactically during crucial moments. "The great managers find solutions when things aren't working. I watched both legs against Arsenal and it seemed like there was no plan B. At this level, that's inexcusable." Perhaps most damning was Guardiola's assessment of Ancelotti's man management this season. "Players perform when they feel confident in the system and their role within it." Looking at some of Real Madrid's key players, recently, their body language tells you everything you need to know about the current atmosphere in the dressing room. These comments come at a particularly sensitive time for Ancelotti, with reports already suggesting his days at the Bernabeu are numbered. Following Real Madrid's catastrophic Champions League exit, multiple sources now confirm that Carlo Ancelotti's time at the club is drawing to a close. According to Sky Sports, Ancelotti is expected to leave after this Sunday's Copa del Rey final against Barcelona at Estadio La Cartuja in Seville. The timing couldn't be more dramatic, with the Italian potentially managing his final game against arch-rivals Barcelona. This Copa del Rey final represents Ancelotti's last chance to salvage something from what has been a disappointing season by Real Madrid standards. During his post-match press conference after the Arsenal defeat, Ancelotti himself did little to dispel the rumors, saying, "Maybe the club will decide to make a change. It could be this year or next year when my contract runs out. The day I finish here, I can only do one thing, and that is to thank this club. It could be tomorrow, in 10 hours, days, or in a year." What makes this situation even more intriguing is that a representative from the Brazilian Football Confederation, CBF, was spotted in the stands during Madrid's loss to Arsenal, fueling speculation that Ancelotti's next destination could indeed be the Brazilian national team, something that has been rumored for months. With Madrid trailing Barcelona by 4 points in La Liga with just 7 games remaining, the Copa del Rey represents Ancelotti's final opportunity to avoid a trophyless season, an outcome that would almost certainly seal his fate. In what could be the biggest managerial switch of the year, former Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp has reportedly agreed to enter negotiations with Real Madrid about potentially taking over from Carlo Ancelotti this summer. According to reports from UOL, Klopp is willing to cut short his planned year-long sabbatical to take on the challenge at the Bernabeu. The German coach left Liverpool at the end of last season after a trophy-laden tenure that included Premier League and Champions League titles. Klopp, who is currently serving as the sporting director of the Red Bull Football Group, was initially adamant about taking a complete break from management. However, the allure of managing the 14-time European champions appears too tempting to resist. Real Madrid president Florentino Perez has long been an admirer of Klopp's high energy, attacking football philosophy, which could potentially bring a fresh dynamic to Los Blancos. The potential appointment would mark a significant shift from Ancelotti's more measured approach. While Klopp is the frontrunner, former Real Madrid midfielder Xabi Alonso is also being considered after his impressive work at Bayer Leverkusen. Santiago Solari, who previously served as interim boss, could also be called upon to guide the team temporarily until a permanent appointment is made. With a reported salary package of around $15 million per year being prepared, Madrid are clearly serious about bringing the charismatic German to the Spanish capital. This Sunday's Copa del Rey final at Estadio La Cartuja in Seville has now taken on even greater significance. Not only is it a Clasico between Spain's two biggest rivals, but it could also mark Ancelotti's final game in charge of Real Madrid. Barcelona come into the game with confidence sky high after their recent Champions League success, while Madrid are reeling from their elimination. The Catalan side currently hold a 4-point advantage in La Liga, making this Copa del Rey final potentially Real Madrid's last chance for silverware this season. The pressure will be immense on Ancelotti and his players to deliver, especially after Guardiola's harsh criticism has put an even brighter spotlight on the Italians' tactical decisions. Key players like Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham will need to step up if Madrid are to salvage something from this increasingly difficult season. Football analyst and former Real Madrid player Michel had this to say about the current situation. The criticism from Guardiola is harsh, but not entirely without merit. Real Madrid have looked tactically confused at times this season, particularly in big games. However, we must remember that Ancelotti is one of the most decorated coaches in history, and his man management skills have always been his strongest attribute. The timing of these comments, right before a crucial El Clasico Cup final, feels somewhat calculated from Guardiola. There's no love lost between these two managers, despite their public respect for each other. As for Klopp, potentially taking over his high-pressing style would be a dramatic change for this Madrid squad, and some players might struggle to adapt initially. So there you have it, Los Blancos fans. Guardiola's shocking criticism of Ancelotti, reports of the Italians' imminent departure, Jurgen Klopp potentially taking over at the Bernabeu, and a preview of Sunday's crucial El Clasico Copa del Rey final. What do you think about Guardiola's comments? Are they justified? And would Klopp be the right man to lead Real Madrid forward? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. That's all for today. Please leave your comments below and hit the like button.